Meeting of the Summerlin Rotary Club. I'm Linda Davis, the president, and I think we only have one guest with us right now, but we're so happy to have everyone here this morning. And Suki, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Okay, everybody, let's stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Oops. I forget that we are online. Okay, sorry. All right, okay, so let's start together.
All right.
Okay. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
And to
to
the
the republic
for which it
which
stands,
stands
and
one
nation
under God,
under God,
indivisible, liberty,
and
justice for all.
justice for all.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Suki. And I think we only have a couple of guests with us right now. We have Casey from Delivering with Dignity. Casey, say hello to the group.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me this morning. And we're looking forward to continuing to working with Rotary throughout 2021.
Oh, wonderful. We'll hear from Casey just a little bit later. And our speaker, Joel Seidman, just joined us as well, and we'll introduce him in just a couple of minutes. So I think we have a little inspiration this morning, do we not?
Find yourself. Find a clean shirt.
Invest in Airbnb and other travel companies. Gamble or just burn the money. You'll get a better return.
Quit drinking. Quit kidding yourself. Improve concentration and mental skills. Are those squirrels fighting or mating? Definitely mating. Improve wardrobe. Dress to impress.
Wear pants at least 3 times a week.
3 days a week.
2 times a week. Be more affirmative in work meetings. Stop doing this.
Hey everyone, so nice to see all of you. Unfortunately, my camera just broke, so I'm gonna have to just go audio today. I hope that's okay.
Didn't you say you were going to get that fixed 2 months ago?
Go on mission trip to Uganda. Pray that Uganda doesn't ban Americans again.
Learn a new language.
Quit speaking French.
Get 8 hours of sleep every night.
Stop sleeping 12 hours a day. On Wednesdays.
Exercise more. Stop counting taking the garbage out as a workout. Close enough. Backpack through Europe. Find backpack in garage. Start remembering important dates.
Start remembering what day it is.
Meet new people. Mrs. Nuts, you are a wild animal.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing. Life's got you down.
Just use a little bit of humor this morning. It was quite a year, and actually, we're going to defer Dave Austin's sponsorship to later in the year because he has to click off. Casey, would you like to give us a little update on Rotary Food Heroes and Delivering with Dignity?
Certainly. So at the end of 2020, we actually hit our 250,000 meal mark. And I just want to thank the Rotary Clubs of Las Vegas for being a part of that milestone. We've been so fortunate to have you all volunteer with us the first Wednesday of every month since, I think the first one was back in September.
Yes.
And so to have been able to keep this partnership going, I'm very grateful. And even I know volunteers like Linda volunteer continuously throughout the month, and we're always in need of additional volunteers. So even outside of Rotary Day, I would love to see some of these familiar names on our sign-up sheet. So for tomorrow, I don't have my numbers yet, but last Thursday, we delivered our record of 2,700 meals in one day. We needed 43 volunteers to do that. So I don't anticipate tomorrow looking as big, but we'll probably need on average about 30 volunteers. So we would love to get as many Rotarians signed up as possible for that first Wednesday of the month service.
And in order to sign up for the Rotary Day, Glenn has been coordinating that. Glenn, can you tell the folks on the call what they need to do if they'd still like to step up?
Well, about an hour after this meeting, I'll be sending Casey the list of volunteers from the clubs for this month so that they're pre-registered, and anybody who registers will get a email approximately between 3 and 5 o'clock this afternoon with instructions what to do. Veterans already have downloaded their on-fleet app, which is used to get your route and for you to follow GPS. Those that don't but are registering today will get instructions on how to the app in time. So if anybody still wants to volunteer for today, for tomorrow's Delivering with Dignity, please alert me live now or by an email as soon as the meeting is over. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to sign up as an individual, Casey, can you tell people what they need to do?
Yes, so if you go to our organization's website, it is deliveringwithdignity.org. There you can go and log in through the United Way website. And the new need is called Delivering with Dignity Volunteer Food Heroes. By clicking on that need, you'll be able to register for shifts throughout all of 2021, leading through the beginning of 2022. So that's about how long we anticipate this program running for.
And it's really a good idea to go out in pairs. Joel Seidman went out with me last week. I've been out with a friend who was visiting a couple of times. I went out with Mike Levy once, and it's really helpful to have a navigator and a driver. And it also just makes you feel a little better to have one person probably stay with the car, the other person make the delivery. And everybody needs gloves, and they also need a mask, right?
Yes, and if you didn't have either of those items, the restaurants will happily provide them for you.
Anybody who is a new volunteer will also get emailed a waiver sheet, which they must fill out and deliver when they arrive to get their food. Most everybody who has volunteered in the past has their, well, they all have their waiver list already in place and never need to do it again.
Right. Okay, and is that waiver on our website, Michael?
Yes, it's on the listing on the homepage of our website. It's on the listing for the event.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Casey. Thanks for the great work you're doing and giving us an opportunity to safely serve during this pandemic.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me this morning. Happy New Year to you all.
Thank you. And now it's time for us to hear from Suki Tong with her craft talk. Good morning, Suki.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning. Okay, I'm going to start the screen sharing. Okay, so can you all see?
We can't see anything yet.
Okay, can you all see now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Hang on, let me put on full screen. Okay, now can you all see everything?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, wonderful. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. And I couldn't wait to trash 2020. Yeah. Okay. So I am a psychologist, and I'm also a certified points of view practitioner and life coach. So welcome to today's craft talk. Okay. So I have worked with young adults and college students and adults, and what I do is that I combine psychology, music, and art in my coaching, and I also combine photography. And today, I'm going to use because I was thinking, okay, how should I introduce my business? How should I introduce myself? I think what better way than to experience it? Okay, so I use the model of phototherapy, which means that it's the use of photographs or pictures to create self-awareness, and this stimulates the right brain, which is the emotional half, and the left brain, the logical part of the brain. Okay, so today I'm going to use points of view flow to do a little mini craft talk. So points of view is I am a certified points of view practitioner, and I use that for my coaching. Okay, so this so usually in my work with my clients, okay, I ask them questions and certain pertinent questions, and this question is you can jot it down or you can reflect it. What do I invite into my life for 2021? So that's a question for all of us, including myself. What do I invite into my life for 2021? So today I would like to share with you a picture. Okay, so how do we observe a picture? So today I'm going to introduce to you a picture, and this picture is light. Okay, the and what am I seeing in the picture? As you can see that there's a little bit of light at the end. And what do I know about the picture? It looks like a wooded place in the forest. It could be evening time, but there's no one there. And how am I feeling when I'm looking at the picture? So how am I feeling, you know? So some people may feel serene, some people may feel lonely, some people may feel peaceful. See? So what am I feeling? And I get my clients or my students or the people that I'm working in the workshop, and I'll get them to observe further, to look deeper. So what's the message in the picture? What stands out in the picture? So when I ask some people say, well, the word stands out to me. Some people say the picture stands out to me. What speaks to me most about the picture? So for me, what speaks most to me about this picture is the light at the end, you know, even though there's a little bit of darkness, but there's light. And is there something missing in the picture? And how does the picture relate to my life? So this is phototherapy, and it's observing from a different angle, and then you go deeper and deeper. And why this picture? Because I was doing my YouTube food channel, and I was and this picture came up to me, and I was thinking, you know, what better way than to start with this word, light. And I would like to share with you, you know, in the opening of 2021, okay, I would like to share with you something inspiring from Nelson Mandela. He wrote this in 1984, and the title is called Light. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates us. So that's the word light for today. And may the light shine in 2021. And Desmond Tutu said, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. Okay, so that's my business. That's what I do.
That's really interesting, Suki. And can you tell us who is your average client?
Okay, so my average client would be anything. Actually, that's an interesting question because my average client can be women. Okay, I work with women. My average client can be children, because I work with children, because I'm specialized in that. And my average client can be youth. I work with youth, and my average client can be adults. Yeah. So
And I see you have a workshop coming up.
yes, that's a workshop that's coming up on January 16, 2021. So the title is called Half Full, Half Empty, Creating Possibilities. It's an online workshop, and this is the Eventbrite link, and it's on January 16, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And another thing about my what I'm doing is this. I have a YouTube food channel, and the title is called Hey, What's Cooking? So check out the food channel and click on the link and subscribe to my channel. And I incorporate cooking, yeah, and coaching.
Excellent. I see a lot of your recipes or pictures of food online, and it seems like you really enjoy the kitchen like I do.
Yeah, I do.
Wonderful.
Would you put that link in the chat box so we can go right from there to your website?
Which link?
The link to your YouTube food channel.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Does anybody have questions for Suki this morning? Well, thank you so much for being with us. I know Suki has clients in Singapore, so she's up half of the night. So I really appreciate you being up so early this morning and sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
You're so welcome. All right, we're going to segue on to our speaker this morning. And I'm pleased to introduce our speaker this morning. Joel Seidman and I have known each other for many, many years. And we met when we were both in the hospitality business. And I first met Joel as the person who booked the tours of Jubilee. And he was with that Jubilee show for a long time. And we became friends over the years. And now both of us have transitioned into a new part of our lives. And I think that this is kind of a theme that I'd like to explore this year is people transitioning. I'm reading a lot of articles about people who have decided during this unique time in our lives that, gee, maybe I've been furloughed from my job and maybe I really don't want to go back. Maybe it's time to look at doing something else. And Joel has done that, and he has joined an organization called Unshakable. And I'm so pleased to introduce my dear friend and also our potential newest member, because he has applied to be a member in our club, and we'll discuss that at our board meeting tomorrow. Welcome, Joel Seidman.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much. Thank you. I never knew that I can actually photograph that well. Geez, I should use that all the time. But I look so much heavier on TV. Good morning, everybody. And what's really interesting in your introduction, what's really interesting is that the whole transition period with people like myself, who I'll be 67 in less than a week, who I grew up in the entertainment business and never had to think about doing anything else, never worried about doing anything else, because this is what I trained for and this is what I love to do. This is everything. And I built up a career being a musician, a band leader in the Atlantic City area, part of a family entertainment business of contracting, of producing, went to college for scene and lighting design for theater, and came to Las Vegas in 1995, was with Bally's and recently MGM. And I started to think, how do I tie in what specifically Linda just said, transition, with Unshakable? And the common denominator simply is that what happens when you don't have anything? What do you do when you don't have what you, maybe never had, or what you used to have and you don't know what to do because you don't really do anything else? This is what you do. And of course, not as drastically, but I was put into a position where, yes, I could retire because I was lucky enough to make some smart decisions, but I'm not ready to retire. But what happens with people who never have the ability to put any money away or to plan anything. And every day is a challenge. And I'm not being melodramatic or overly theatrical, but this is a course of life. And we're all very lucky enough to not have to, well, most of us, I would imagine, to face this. I remember being in synagogue. Funny, he doesn't look Jewish. I remember being in synagogue. I say, some of you laughing, and thank you for getting that. And hearing a rabbi talk and going, you're really only about 4 paychecks away from losing your house. And that was maybe about 15 years ago, and I never forgot that. And specifically when my job was eliminated, I thought about that. And I thought, okay, what would I really like to do and give back and really do something worthwhile? Unshakable. I've been loosely involved with Unshakable. It is a product of love and inspiration from Debbie Isaac, who is supposed to be here today. Unfortunately, she is not well. And Debbie, this is her brainchild and her baby. And it specifically has to do with women, only women, habitual female criminals. I'm not going to, sugarcoat this. These are people who it's theft, it's drug abuse, it's prostitution, it's selling yourself, and this is what they do. This is all they do. And she developed this program with the court system, Judge Kearns and Judge Leung, Cynthia Leung. And it's basically a nonprofit, and it's composed of people in the business community, and they strongly believe in the mission. But it's the dedication of these people that really makes this work. The main purpose is it's guiding women recovering from trauma. And trauma is the best way to capsulize all the different things that can happen, and return them and put them back into a workplace and teach them how to survive and how to intermingle in society. And the different programs, there's different programs, and it empowers them to make choices for themselves. It gives them confidence to make choices for themselves, and which would have probably have been impossible prior to Unshakable assisting them. I'll tell you a quick story because I know that you all probably have things to do, and I went to a graduation for one of the participants, and I really didn't know much of what was going on. It was held in the city council chambers. It was phenomenal. Mayor Goodman spoke. Judge Cynthia Leung, Chief Judge. She is really the technical part of this, because people come before her, and she, through Unshakable, tries to help mold their lives. And it was one of the participants. It's a 2-year. It is a 2-year commitment. And when we say 2 years, it's not like you join something and yeah, I'll go 1 week, or I'll go to a meeting today or tomorrow. It's not that simple. And what I learned was that during those 2 years, people run away. The commitment is so difficult because they're not used to this. And it's through Unshakable Business Alliance and the IM program, which I'll talk about very briefly. And I know that we also have a video too, right, Patrick? There's a video, and we'll be able to run that video in a minute to really capsulize all this. But what I wanted to tell you about the graduation. So I'm a very emotional person. I think being in the entertainment business, I could watch a good Broadway show and sit there and get very choked up and emotional. It's just who I am. And I didn't even really know who the participant was because I never met this person. And it's a beautiful young woman. I'm going to guess in her late 20s, early 30s. And she came in with her family. And they started to talk about her program, how many times she ran away, how many times she came close to maybe taking her own life. And through these programs and through mentorship and through people caring, showing them on Zoom how to cook, how to manage your money. Here are different programs, having people come in and lecture and guiding you and building up your self-esteem. And then came the real hook. Here's the hook. And the hook was, they started to show photos of her through her different stages. And whatever you can imagine, whatever movie you've ever seen, where you see people who are hooked on drugs, who are in and out of prisons, who are selling themselves, prostitution. I mean, you know the picture. I don't have to get any more graphic than that, especially this early in the morning. And you look back and go, oh my God, how you hit bottom. You hit bottom, not just for a small period of time, but for years. And here she is pulling herself out, graduating from this program. And I think from our last speaker, yes, Desmond Tutu, there is light at the end of darkness. So that was a great quote. And I thank you for posting that, because it helps me tie in. Thank you, Susan. And the best part about this was that, of course, she got proclamations, and she was just an amazing speaker. She has a brain. She has an existence. And that's not something that can be taught. That's something that's in you. And I'm starting to think, how many of these women have this? They just don't know how to use it. They don't know what to do and how to apply it. And then came the great hook about all this. The judge turns to the and please forgive me if there are lawyers, please. I know I'm not saying the right thing, but I guess the prosecutors or the people who represent the city, because she went through this program, the judge looks at the lawyer and says, "Are you willing to forgive the charges, and we'll seal her records?" And I thought to myself, "Oh my God, like this is what you do to politicians. This is what you do to people that you want to protect, that you want to move on in life." And I wasn't able to go to that ceremony because of social distancing and the whole COVID time period. But after the graduation ceremony in city council chambers, she went and had her record expunged and sealed. And she was given a new start. That never existed. And from this moment on, that never existed. And then came the fact, then they brought her family up, and she had a daughter. Her daughter watched this whole process of her mother going through all these stages. I mean, I can't even imagine being that child and watching how awful it must have been. And then all of a sudden, here's your mother all grown up who's willing to take care of you and be a mother. And I think I know that's what our program is all about. It's a 2-year commitment, and it's working with women I'm just reading just a couple blurbs here, to overcome employment barriers, and it's leading them to a career path that's going to help them achieve sustainable financial independence, hopefully, and work with our partnership and business alliance. We did a Zoom meeting where we taught them how to cook, how to shop. Here's a budget. This is what you do. And they didn't know. They had no idea. I'm going to read just a couple sentences from people who have been through the program. And then we can look at the video if you have any questions. Quote, there's been a lot of opportunities presented to me with no judgment. I feel like you guys see me for the abilities that I have and not who I used to be, which is a hard thing to overcome. Your mission and ministry to women in recovery is a much needed resource I never imagined existed. It takes a unique combination of patience, perspective, and perseverance to help survivors walk past their worst fears. You've given me hope that God does indeed have plans for a positive, productive future for me. I'm not going to read all of them, but I think that gives you the idea of what this program is. I've known Debbie for a while, and it's an incredibly legit organization. It is not fly by night. It's very new. When I say new, it's 5 years, 6 years old. And how I learned about it was that Debbie is a production manager for a large video production company in town, Levy Productions. And when she was graduating college, she produced what she called the worst movie ever produced in the history of movie making. It was called The Ghosts of Goldfield. And it's very funny if you ever see it. But now, every time I hear that, I think of the birdcage. Is it Coldfield or Goldfield? Is it Goldman or Goldman? And anyway, it was the it's just the plug for it, for the birdcage. It's The Ghost of Goldfield. And what she did was she made the movie part of the fundraising, and there was food was donated, and we had all these business executives come in, and we would shout out things to the movie. It was like Science Fiction Theater 3000, and we would shout things out to the movie, and that's how this got started. People got to know the movie, and it came together. A lot of public relations, marketing people in town. It's just kind of people that we all knew each other, and it's grown since then.
We might have to have a Rotary movie night.
Well, it's actually not as bad as what you think. It makes Ed Wood look like Cecil B. DeMille. And movies, Plan 9 from Outer Space was considered the worst movie ever. It's a great, and we would have a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and you yell at the screen, and that's how I got started, because I was the one who instigated yelling at the screen, and so.
What a shock!
I'm sorry.
What a shock!
Oh yeah. I'm sure you can tell. And anyhow, and I offered my services to Debbie, and she gave me a title, which so what? A title's a title. I was the director of entertainment for 3 properties. That title didn't save my job. So, but I am very proud to be part of this, because I believe that, especially with focus going to empowering women, because they deserve it. They're smart. They know. They're incredibly talented. Now is the time, and I felt it was a great time to be part of this. And they needed somebody. And my sales, I was the one who developed the Asian ticket market for the Jubilee show, and basically they brought me the cause. So I know a little bit about sales. Granted, it's with entertainment, but sales is sales. And if you believe in a product and you're passionate about it, you're going to sell it. And
we've talked about this whole pandemic being a catalyst for transition, but I guess we don't really need to have transition for people, because that's what these women are doing. They're transitioning from one life to another life.
You're absolutely right. And what was insurmountable a year ago, all of a sudden isn't so much. And if we could show the video, if that's possible, and then we could take it from there.
When I thought about Unshakable and all that it could be with the Empower to Employ program, one of the things that I noticed in working with the women, it's really not my time frame. And it's also really not what I want for them. We may be ready for them to start at a job here, but they're coming with something from their past that may say, I'm afraid of that. I'd rather stay a little bit longer and work my sobriety, or I'd rather stay a little bit longer and just be at this pace, because I've not known peace like this either.
Before Unshakable, I was hopeless. I had lots of problems, financial, legal, mental, and I had no self-worth.
It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter where you've done it. Like, Unshakable is here to help.
I feel like I have a whole future in front of me now that I didn't believe was possible before.
We speak to their future. What sets the Empower to Employ program apart is our business alliance. We're partnered with some Fortune 500 companies. We're partnered with Verizon. We're partnered with Caesars Entertainment. We have gone to these companies and created a path for these women where they can feel safe at work. Their application currently with so many people unemployed, and you're uploading a resume to a blind website, we have the ability in our partnership to speak to any of these companies and say, please take a look at this. Here's some things you need to know about this woman, and if nothing else, get them that in-person interview. And then, like everyone else, the rest is up to them from that point on.
At first, I felt like alone, like nobody was like, I know you can't get like handouts or anything in life, but you guys actually, take your time with us and try to help us in the best way you could.
Unshakable provides hope. It gives the women motivation to change course because many of them do not know what life is like off the street.
The 2 years, which is really separated for us, was based on the fact women like myself have to overcome fear. Your neighbor is overcoming fear, your sister. These women have another layer of that, and we want to work through that with them, and we want to walk with them. And if they're not ready for that, they may be there in 6 months. So at that point, we'll talk to them about a different job level. And then there's 12 months. And at 18 months, we just want to be encouraging.
If you're interested in getting involved with an organization of women giving back to women, it's an incredible feeling to help other women that just need that one chance, that one leg up.
It's too hard to ask a woman to get clean, sober, get off the street, and then find a job hustle. And that's why it's critical for us to stay with them for the 2 years.
What I've learned about myself through partnerships like Unshakable and through being a judge since 2008 is that we are really all the same. As women, we experience the same challenges, the same questions of defining our identity, defining who we want to be, to not have society, other people, whether that's your family or your culture, to dictate who you think you are and what you should be.
We believe that at the end of the 2 years, that they are on a path, really in a career that is leading them towards financial independence.
We work on the pretense that everyone is worthy, and Unshakable takes that to the next step. And not only are you worthy, but we will walk you through the door. We'll walk you through the
skills
steps.
And figuring out what you're interested in. These are the kind of people that Unshakable is going to be introducing you to and connecting you with, and we're really excited.
What do you think about the cooking last week?
It was very good.
We are who we say we are. And I tell people all the time, if you meet me, you're gonna know exactly where I stand. And I think that spills over to everybody that is part of our organization.
It was successful, right?
It was successful.
My dream for the women of Unshakable is that they would never have to go back to the lifestyle that they experienced.
I feel pretty if I put on some makeup.
Good for you. And when you feel pretty.
But even more than that, that they would know that they're loved, that they're valued, and that they're worth it.
Wow.
That says it all. And probably I could have saved you all a lot of time by asking Patrick, to hit the video first, but now you know, and now you now you understand. And I know I probably have gone over. I so appreciate it, and I know that Rotary is such a wonderful, giving organization. My father was a member for years, and in Atlantic City, and I thank you so much for your time. Unshakable.org is the website, and there if you want to learn a little bit more, it's not a huge website. Basically the video is there and capsulization of what I said, but I just want to make you aware of it, and as the year starts out, we'll keep you posted of anything that we're doing. And Debbie is a wonderful leader. She really is, as you can tell. She is the heart and soul.
Well, thank you, Joel. How many women are in the program currently?
There's about 30, and the success rate in the past has been about 88%. I think.
Wow.
The last that I had was 32, and and what got me involved was when I was the entertainment director at Excalibur. One of my shows was Tournament of Kings, and which I loved. I loved that show, and which actually got me involved in horses. And as soon as I hang up here, I'm going out to Boulder. My son has horses and sheep and all kinds of stuff. Maybe I'll get to be like Charlton Heston and make a movie. And
you'll be a farmer.
And I took about 12 of the ladies in to see the show, and not only that, they got to meet, I got to pet the horses and meet the performers. The premise was it's all about teamwork. It's all about working together in a dangerous situation with pyro, with horses, with real swords, how you work together to make yourself homogenous and really do a great job. And that went so far that Judge Leung and I became friendly, and I just got hooked. I got hooked on the organization. When you're watching women probably dress up and put makeup on for the first time and be out in public and at a restaurant seeing a show, it was a big deal. And never take the small stuff for granted, folks. And I know you already know that. But thank you so much, and I really appreciate your time. I know I've taken up probably a lot more of your time than I was.
So we, Joel and I were talking about our sex trafficking committee and how Unshakable might fit into that whole scenario. And thank you so much for being with us, Joel. And we are excited to have the opportunity to welcome you as a new member after the board and the members go through the process. Michael Turner, this kind of leads up to the seminar that's coming up. Would you like to tell the members about this?
Yes, coming up Monday, January 11th is the Human Trafficking Awareness Day. And as part of that part of the committee that's working on putting together a campaign that will be launched in the fall, we are doing a webinar to look at some of the issues that revolve around sex trafficking with children. And during the evening, we are going to take a look at some myths that we're going to dispel. Most of us have an awareness of child sex trafficking, but we don't have awareness of it. And we also don't understand the depth of what is going on in our community and how it impacts not only children, but also impacts families and also impacts the quality of life in our community. The webinar is at 6 o'clock. You can access it by going to our homepage of our website, click on that graphic there that shows the handprint. You go right to the webinar. We're going to look at this from both, since our district, this is a pilot program that we're looking at launching across Rotary District 5300. And so because of that, we're going to have Cosette Figueri, who is the past district governor for adjacent Rotary District 5280. She launched a human sex trafficking awareness campaign in Southern California in 2017. And she's going to talk about the issue from Southern California and what is going on there. To understand what is happening here in Clark County, we will have Lynn Green. She's the manager of the Sex Crime Bureau for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And then we're going to hear from Kimberly Mall. She is a sex trafficking survivor and an activist.
And a member.
And a member of our club. It's going to be an interesting evening. Please invite any of your friends or family members, co-workers. And again, you can access the webinar from our homepage. Just click on that graphic that says January 11th, Human Trafficking Awareness Day.
Well, it's interesting. I was with a friend last night, Lynn Lamont, whose husband, Steve, was a member of our club before he passed away. And I told her about this, and she said, I think it's such a great cause that you're embracing it. In the paper yesterday, the RTC, the transportation group, is really highlighting this on the buses, wrapping bus stop stations. This is a big deal. And through Kimberly, we've learned that unfortunately it becomes a family business, and that children who have been trafficked grow up. They still are in this trafficking world, and they have children, and sometimes then they enter the same world. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
This has gotten real highlighted by the district too. Greg Jones is a member of Michael's committee.
Yeah. And what is also interesting about this is the consumers or the Johns, they come from all walks of life. They could be your next door neighbor. They could be even a family member. They could be a coworker. They can be a respected leader in the community. So this affects many people, not just the children, but it also affects those who are the consumers of child sex trafficking in our area.
Anybody have questions for Michael?
Yeah,
This committee is alive and well and really on it.
Linda?
Yes.
So, Michael, I just wanted to ask, because
Yes.
I'm part of that committee. So we can invite whoever we want. Is the event being put on solely by our club, or is it? Okay, so it's being put on.
Yeah, our club is the host and the sponsor of this event. And it also is launching our venture that's going to spread across the entire district. And so that's, excuse me, that's why we're bringing in experts from both ends of our district.
Good deal. Thank you.
Anybody else have questions for Michael? Well, thank you so much. And Michael will be president after me. And this is a cause that he really wants to embrace during our next year. And we're getting a good start. Pat Riley, you have done such an incredible job booking speakers. Would you like to tell the group who's coming up?
Yes, thank you. Good morning. So at our next meeting, we have the founder of the Nevada Independent, John Ralston. He is a very entertaining speaker if you've ever seen him before, and he'll be giving us a breakdown, a preview, if you will, of the Nevada legislative session, which begins at the end of the month. And then the first meeting of February, former city councilman, former mayor pro tem, former county commissioner Larry Brown will be speaking. And then the first meeting of March, we will be having Doa Ross, the deputy manager for the Southern Nevada Water Authority. She is a water engineer. As many of you know, Southern Nevada Water Authority is on the cutting edge of water conservation, and she'll be here to talk about kind of how we're at the cutting edge of infrastructure and on making every drop of water go as far as it can. So we've got some good speakers coming up in the next few months.
We sure do. And Larry Brown is a former member of this club. And I started the first week of the year to woo Larry back, because he has told us that once he's out of public life, he might consider returning to Rotary. And he emailed me back thanking me and saying that probably by mid-February, he might be ready to do that. So we'd love to have him come back. Our meeting next week is the sex trafficking seminar. We will not have a meeting other than that next week. And it's on a Monday. Yes, we're breaking with tradition, and we're having a meeting on Monday. So put that on your calendar. Okay. We have a board meeting coming up. Mark Nordberg, would you like to talk to the members?
Good morning, everybody. There is a board meeting tomorrow evening at 5:30. And Linda, it sounds like you've confirmed that it's the same link. So anyone and everyone is welcome. So hope to see a lot of you there.
Yes, all members are welcome to board meetings. If we have to go into a special session to discuss a financial matter that's a little bit private, we'll kick you out. But otherwise, you're sure welcome to come. We have a few minutes left for Happy Bucks. So who's happy this morning? Okay, I'll start. I'm happy that we have a new member in the pipeline. I'm happy that we have a new year starting out, but I'm also a little bit unhappy about attendance, because our attendance was extremely light this morning. And I would certainly entertain suggestions on how we can build that up again. Who's next? Oh, come on, guys. Somebody has to be happy out there.
I'm happy to announce, if people don't know it, that our friend Ferry Zanvili has a major bestseller book out. Over there in the Netherlands, it's number 3 on Amazon. It's called Souvenir, and it tells his story. So kind of excited for his success.
And he's also a new father.
He is.
I've seen pictures of the baby on social media, so that's really cool.
Which is really a big surprise, because I guess before the pandemic, he was never around to have a baby. He must have found enough time somehow.
There you go. There are silver linings.
Yeah, he told me, Glenn, that there'd be an English translation sometime this year. So that's probably going to be a fantastic read. I would have a happy buck if our member, David Dindy, was feeling better. I think he is somewhat. COVID is an up and down thing for a lot of people. So I'm happy in advance of his quick recovery.
Yes, I was texting with him yesterday, and he said he's sleeping a lot. And then I called Kimberly Mull yesterday because I had her badge to deliver to her. And she said, well, thank you very much. I'm at home because we're quarantined. So she and her husband have been exposed and have had to quarantine. We've had a couple of other things go on with members while people are thinking about what they're happy about. Eric Locklear lost his mother this week, and he is on his way tomorrow to Alabama to bury his mother. Glenn Lee has resigned at TPC Summerlin, and he is moving to Florida. So we'll be having someone new from TPC joining that corporate membership. And I'm trying to think of what other updates of members we have. Anyone else on the call know of updates of members? Oh, Penny Zelenkoff is moving to California. That's the other update I can think of. She's moving to Huntington Beach sometime this month. And she dropped off a kind little gift and note to me, letting me know what Rotary has meant to her and our friendship. So life goes on. Okay, anyone
Linda?
announcements that they would like to make?
Linda?
Yes, Robert.
Yes, I was speaking with Dennis Ortwine this week, and he was telling me, and I don't get this publication, but one of the several publications that go out to members of the Sun City Summerlin area, they've got a front cover feature story about Dennis. So I'm trying to figure out how to get a hold of that copy, but apparently, according to Dennis, it's a very good and a very accurate overview of his history here in Las Vegas. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Well, I heard that too, and I don't get that publication either. So if anyone does and has a copy, I'd love to see that. I went to see Jeannie and Dennis over the holidays, and Jeannie had taken quite a nasty fall at the beginning of December. She looked like she'd just gotten out of the ring with Muhammad Ali, big bruise on her face, but she was still smiling, and she'd had stitches out. So she's persevering. Okay, anyone else have announcements to make? If not, let's move on to the four-way test. And I'm leading the four-way test this morning of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
To all concerned.
And thank you very much for attending. Please come to the seminar on Monday. We are adjourned.
Goodbye, everybody.